A very pleasant good evening. Actually, not good evening. Good morning. From Greenfield Central High School, it is TEC basketball regional style on Radio Troy Digital Sports. My name is Scott Beeman alongside my partner Brian Betts. It is Northeastern taking on Cloverdale in a rematch of last year's regional first-round contest. And the Cloverdale Clovers, led by Patrick Grady, 40-14 in his second year at the school. He is 81-84 in his seventh year overall. They are winners of Sectional 44, beating Monrovia in their sectional final. They are 21-6. Northeastern, 21-5 on the year. They are led by Brent Ross, 130-61 in his eighth year at the school. They won the Sectional 41 at Hagerstown, beating Union County 54-41. It is a stacked regional here. Number 4 Northeastern, number 12 Cloverdale in the second game tonight, or this morning. Unranked Heritage Christian, number 10 Shenandoah will take part in a regional that is wide open because, well, there's no Park Tudor, there's no Indy Howe. It is kind of wide open, and Brian Bennett joining me on the broadcast, former Earlham College ball player and assistant coaches at a number of places, including currently at Richmond High School. And Brian, bring him in on the broadcast. Your thoughts here tonight on the regional and the opportunities in front of Northeastern tonight.
Well, I think you talk about this regional being wide open. How about all of Class 2A wide open? You look last week, Bar Reef, Providence, two teams down south who people thought maybe were favorites to get to Bangerslaff. They're knocked out. Up north, you had Oak Hill knocked out. And obviously, the last year's finalists, Indy Howe loses to Shenandoah last week in the sectional final. And also LaPel, defending state champion. They're knocked out at home last week in the sectional. So Class 2A is wide open. I think a lot of people are now looking at this regional as maybe the favorite to cut down the nets at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Will be cutting down the nets here in Greenfield tonight.
Yeah, in fact, Northeastern is the highest ranked both in the AP poll, in the computer rankings, and in any other metric you can find. They're just the highest ranked team left alive in 2A, so by definition, they are the favorites. Now, you go tell Brent Ross that, he's going to probably punch you in the face because he doesn't want to hear any part of that. We're about a minute away from tip. We're going to take a quick break, pay some bills. We're going to come back with more about the players you're going to see tonight, including two potential Indiana All-Stars. It's TEC basketball on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Maybe you knew that Indiana University East has world-renowned professors and 50 highly respected IU degree programs. Still, there's someone you should meet. He's a red wolf. He's Rufus, our mascot. He's here for our intercollegiate sports, dozens of student clubs, and to make sure things aren't too, well, tame. Check us out at iue.edu or drop by. But be careful. No leash. IU, focused on you.
Summit Computers in Richmond is a full-service computer manufacturing and support company founded in 1997. They partner with businesses and individuals to provide computer systems, hardware, service, support, and design services. They also provide web hosting, high-speed wireless internet, network design, and much, much more. Summit Computers, the official provider of RadioTroy.com.
There are banks that are big, and then there's West End Bank, a bank with big ideas to help people, business, and industry. If you're just starting out on your own and want a new car, West End can help. Maybe it's your first home and you need advice on financing. West End Bank has ideas to help you. West End Bank, helping build better lives and a better community. West End Bank is a community bank with big ideas and home to a distinctive style of banking. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Hey, this is Steve, and out at Jiffy Lube the other day, a customer came in and said, Steve, this was my 100th oil change on this car, and you've done them all.
Hi, my name is George Farrell, and I've been coming to Jiffy Lube for over 14 years. I recently just had my 100th oil change. I'd like to thank Steve Funkhauser and his staff for the great service that they've provided me over the years. Thank you to all, and I would recommend anyone to come to Jiffy Lube to get their car serviced.
Jiffy Lube, #1 in customer satisfaction for a reason.
There's a place in Richmond's Depot District that's better than being home. Little Sheba's is a lot like the bar in that 80s TV show where everybody knows your name. Come on down after the game on Fridays and join us for pizza. We're here till 11. Or grab some friends and come play live trivia Thursday nights at 6:30. If you love live music, Little Sheba's features some of the very best every weekend. Where else can you find this kind of variety, along with some of the best food and friends in town? Little Sheba's in Richmond's Depot District. It really is better than being home.
At Harrington Oak Insurance, we spend every day working to make our community better, safer, and more enjoyable because our focus is on insurance, and that's it. We're on top of industry changes, and we're a one-stop shop for all of your insurance needs, whether it's business, personal, life, or health. That's why when it comes to protecting you, what's important to you, Harrington Oak insures it. Call 962-9502 or go to harringtonhoak.com to request a quote. Back at Greenfield Central High School, it is regional style TEC basketball. Northeastern carrying the torch for the TEC. They'll take on Cloverdale in about 2 minutes as they're doing starting lineups. I want to tell you about two guys you need to pay attention to here tonight. We've talked at great length about Tyler Smith, averaging almost 25 points a game, 6 rebounds, almost 4 assists. I call him the blur, and there's a reason for that. There's not anybody in 2A that gets from baseline to baseline faster than Tyler Smith. But he's gonna have his hands full, as does Northeastern, as Cooper Neese, a 6'4" senior from Cloverdale. He's also an Indiana All-Star candidate. He's averaging 27 a game, 9 rebounds, and a little under 3 assists, as he is the real deal. The difference might be is the Batman to those two Robins here tonight, as Cooper Neese has a legit Batman, or a Robin, in Jalen Moore. He's averaging 27 a game as well, and he's a potential junior All-Star. Northeastern's Robin, well, we're not sure. It has been different guys at times. It has been Nate Reynolds. It has been Freeman Brew. It has been Jordan Stoley. It's been other guys, maybe collectively, and that may be the key to this game is where does Northeastern get their Robin, and maybe they get more than one. So bringing in, again, my broadcast partner here tonight, Brian Bennett. He's got the starters tonight. Brian, starters.
Sure, let's start with Cloverdale. You mentioned Jalen Moore and Cooper Neese. They're going to start at guards. You also have Nick Winders, number 12, Jake Wilkes, number 24, and Jacob Pfaff, number 33. For Northeastern, you talked about Tyler Smith, the All-Star candidate. He's starting at one guard position. You also have Caleb Mikesell. You also have Freeman Brew. You also have Nate Reynolds, and then Harrison Rice rounding out the lineup.
And we're just about ready to get this thing going. Cloverdale, the Clovers in the all-green uniforms. Northeastern are familiar whites with the gold trim. And we're just about ready to get going. I'm so glad you could join us here tonight. If you want to get in contact, tell us what a good job we're doing. It's Scott on the Air on Twitter. We'd love to hear from you. If you want to tell us what a bad job we're doing, find Brian Bennett on Twitter. He'll be glad to field your complaints. And the tip won by Northeastern. And allowed to open the game to Tyler Smith with a dunk and a foul. Unreal.
That is how you start a game, right there.
That is how you start a game. Tyler Smith with the and-one dunk. We saw them run this against Connersville last time we broadcasted the game, right out of the timeout. And clearly, Patrick Grady did not get that on film because they ran the exact same play, and it worked to perfection, 2-0. Northeastern.
And also really interesting, a foul on All-Star candidate Cooper Neese right from the get-go. He starts out the game guarding Tyler Smith. Interesting matchup to follow.
Absolutely. Get that out of the way for there, guys. Sorry about that. There we go. Now you can see the game. So a little scramble here for Cloverdale. They're going to find some way to get... it's only worth 3 points, to be clear. And we're going to turn over there as Jalen Moore found the guy. And Jake Wilkes, the sophomore, not happy as he's given the what for to somebody. I didn't know sophomores allowed to do that. There comes Northeastern. Just started, 7:15 to go in the first quarter. Remember, this is a rematch of last year's first game in the regional, won easily by Northeastern. Back cut there. Turnover, Freeman Brew. There comes Cooper Neese.
That time Neese able to get a hand on the ball.
Jalen Moore, I was calling Jalen Smith. I don't know why.
He's not a linebacker from Notre Dame.
He's not a linebacker. So he tries to split the double team. They'll keep possession on the jump ball. Moore to inbound. Slow three from deep. Good. Nick Winders, the junior, Hits the deep three.
Talk about Cloverdale has to have a third guy step up. Can someone like Winders maybe step up, knock down a couple threes, and give them a chance here?
Mace checking Tyler Smith. He takes a fadeaway, step back deep three, misses it. Here comes Jalen Moore. Moore behind the back. Mace thought about it, ends up pulling up for a long two, no good. Rebound comes off to Tyler Smith. Smith looking for the ball screen. Double team was coming, gets out of it quickly. Hedged out there, nice inside. That is Harrison Rice. Harrison Rice too low. Can't get to go. We'll get another jump ball. That's Northeastern's ball. Couldn't handle the first pass. They kept the ball below his knees. No for a big guy. They'll maintain possession. With Caleb Meixel triggering the inbounds.
Cloverdale still with Neese guarding Smith. If I'm Tyler Smith here, you got one foul on Neese. I'm attacking the rim. Don't settle. Attack the rim. Get the Indian All-Star in foul trouble.
Absolutely. That's going to be a long pass. This is picked up by Neese.
He's going to pull
up from three. Buries it. 6-3 Cloverdale. 6-0 run to answer the dunk.
Neese now 1 for 3 from the field.
And Northeastern now kind of struggling to find their rhythm here offensively. Nate Reynolds, they need that. And he airballs it. Rebound to Seth Pfaff. Cooper Neese with Tyler Smith on him. Moore kind of think about the three. Instead, we're going to get a layup to Jake Wilkes. A timeout Northeastern. An 8-0 run by Cloverdale. 5:20 to go. They trail at 8-3. With TEC Basketball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
For over a century, Richmond Power and Light has been providing safe, reliable energy to the citizens and businesses of Richmond and the surrounding area. Through their dedicated and talented employees, Richmond Power and Light is advancing their tradition of exceptional service through new technology, training, and efficiency in everything they do. For more information on Richmond Power and Light, go to their website at rp-l.com. Richmond Power and Light. Together, we make powerful partners.
Back at Greenfield High School, 8-3 Cloverdale, 8-0 run. Currently 8-0 run, 5:20 to go, and defensive breakdowns, Brian.
Yeah, I think right now we look at Northeastern. They're falling asleep. They're just watching. They're watching Cooper Neese, Jalen Moore make moves. I mean, they're not guarding off the ball, not in good help side positions.
And that pass right there was completed for the layup to Wilkes. The first one was a turnover right after the dunk.
And interesting right now, Brent Ross going to the bench, bringing in Jalen Hillard and Tyler Smith out of the game right now.
Hey, offensively, really no rhythm for Northeastern. Where are they going to get their offense now? Hillard, the sophomore. Caleb Meixel will take the three. They really need it. They got it. Caleb Meixel comes up big, the senior. Breaks an 8-0 run by Cloverdale, 8-3. Miss there. Here comes Hillard. Bounce pass to the corner. He'll get it back. Brood, straightaway three off the front iron.
Northeastern settling right now. I mean, they need to attack the rim. I mean, Northeastern has a lot of guys who can make that perimeter jump shot, get something going to the rim.
A charge. That's the second foul on Cooper Neese.
That's number 2.
Nice play there. Harrison Rice stands in there, takes the charge, and 2 fouls now at Cooper Neese. A developing situation.
Not even thinking about going to bench. He looks at Coach Rady, gives him a thumbs up, and says, "I'll be okay." I guess you have to go with him, right? I mean, he's your all-star.
I don't disagree with that. You and I have never had the opportunity to coach one of those.
Very true.
But that's probably what I would do as well.
Now they'll switch here and go zone. Maybe obviously try to protect him.
Put him on the wing as well, so he's not in a situation to challenge shots. Jordan Stoley here in the corner. Again, where did he get the offense? And he traveled. Jalen Hillard a little too quick for his own good. 3:55 to go. 8-6 Cloverdale. Harrison Rice, who read the article by Jesus Jimenez in the Palladium Item, the dazzling writer for the Palladium Item, And he mentioned a quote from Harrison Rice about how, they don't really talk about last year. Last year was an easy win for Northeastern. They blew out Cloverdale. And, they were a lot deeper then, to be clear. Neese, deep three, buries it.
Steph Curry range, and he comes off that goal, and that's about a 27, 28-foot shot. Tyler Smith a little bit reckless, at least trying to attack the rim there, forcing some pressure on that Cloverdale defense. Northeastern will get the ball out of bounds.
Cooper Neese is the real deal, and he was the real deal last year. He just didn't have much help. Jalen Moore, a year younger, only a sophomore then, he didn't really have a Robin to his Batman last year. Now clearly he does. They're both averaging 27 a game. It's a good thing to have. Lob in there is trouble getting the ball inbounds there. Smith inside. Tries to leave it off to Nate Reynolds. Good play there. Scramble on the floor for the loose ball. That'll be Cloverdale's on the jump ball. Good play there, Nick Winders.
Cloverdale doing a nice job against Tyler Smith. I mean, they're quickly reacting. When he has that penetration, you're seeing the help come really hot and heavy. Someone's got to step up with some perimeter jump shots now for Northeastern.
Jalen Hiller now draws the box and one on Cooper Neese, and once again, ball watching.
Yeah.
Jake Wilkes with the bucket there.
A lot of action there to get the ball to Cooper Neese. Great read by Jay Winders to slip that screen and get a layup.
3 minutes to go. Hillard with the three. Can't get that to go. And then, you're right, settling for threes. Cooper Neese with the rebound. They got a chance to push to a double-digit lead with a three. Medium range jumper for Moore. Front iron, and we're going to get a foul here on Wilkes, it looks like. They're going to get the foul on Alex Reynolds. First foul on Northeastern. 2 fouls on Cloverdale, both on Cooper Neese. Neese, ball fake. Another three, front iron there. Brew with the rebound. Brings it down to his knees. Us guards like that. Thought about the straightaway three. If you're going to take the first one, why not that one? Yeah. Camera guy fell asleep there for a second. My apologies. Allison. Her name is Allison, by the way. Inside. Brew. Might have got away with the travel. Didn't get away with the travel. Just couldn't gather himself fast enough, and Northeastern struggling offensive end.
If I'm Pat Rady right now, 2 minutes to go in this first quarter, I might try seeing if I can steal a few minutes with Cooper Neese on the bench. You have a 7-point lead. Give Jalen Moore the keys, and here's a jump shot for him right now. It's good. Give him the keys. Let Cooper Neese maybe kind of settle in, get a little bit of rest, and don't risk that third foul.
9-point lead for the Clovers, and that's going to be another miss. Northeastern, and ice cold since that opening dunk. It's a 15-3 run for Cloverdale in this quarter since that opening alley-oop dunk to Tyler Smith. Nine-point lead for the Clovers, minute 53 to go. Substitutions coming in. Caleb Meisler comes in. Jalen Hiller comes back out. Boxing one now on Cooper Neese. Moore. Finds Nick Winders. Back to Moore. Almost a steal by Tyler Smith. And a foul comes on Nate Reynolds.
Cloverdale's undoubtedly seen a lot of junk defenses throughout the year, box and one, triangles and twos, things like that.
Yep.
So nothing unfamiliar for them right now. But Northeastern, more bodies, a little bit more depth maybe than the typical team that Cloverdale plays.
It's in terms of strength of schedule, Cloverdale the worst of the four teams. Neese, pull up three, challenged. Nick Winters going to chase that down. Fast will chase it down.
Cloverdale winning the 50-50 balls right now.
Inside, Moore, teardrop, no good, but a foul. And the Cloverdale fans right in front of us, pretty happy. Northeastern fans decidedly silent. And this is a repeat of last year, just the other direction. Northeastern couldn't miss last year.
Yeah, another game last year was 42-40 at the half. And then Northeastern really took over in the second half, really wore down Cloverdale. And here's the quick break for Cooper Neese. 1:14 to go, a 10-point lead. You can afford to spell him right now.
Moore with the first one. Yeah, last year was a blowout, but it was a blowout in the second half. So it's a repeat of maybe the second half. Misses the second one. It's a 10-point lead. Three-pointer on the way to Reynolds. Boy, they needed that.
Absolutely.
Nate Reynolds gets the three.
And now a steal.
Back to Brew. Nice little 5-0 run.
5 quick points and a timeout. And guess who's back in the game for Cloverdale? Maybe you can't afford to sit him at all.
16-11, 5-point lead for Cloverdale. 30-second timeout. We'll take one with them. 56 seconds to go. It's TC Basketball on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
There's only one place to go on the web to find the best automotive deals. WetSolano.com. New and used vehicles, service, parts, body shop, and rental. It's easy, it's convenient. WetSolano.com. It's clicking awesome.
Jason Wise of Better Homes and Gardens First Realty Group has an idea for an alternative fundraiser for your school, group, or nonprofit. If you list, buy, or refer a customer and mention this promotion, he'll donate 10% of what he makes on the transaction to the school group or nonprofit of your choice in your name. Tell your friends, family, and colleagues to mention this offer when listing with Jason Wise of Better Homes and Gardens First Realty Group. You call them at 969-3400. Back at Greenfield High School, under a minute to go, and it's a 5-point lead for Cloverdale. Jalen Moore, step back, jumper, can't get the roll, rebound, Harrison Rice. And Northeast will slow it down. Critical 5-point run there for Northeastern. This is at risk of getting away from them, perhaps. And you're right, Cooper Neese right back in the ball game. He got about a 4-second rest. 23 seconds. They'll hold for the last shot, it appears. 16-11. 2 Indiana All-Stars, potentially. Tyler Smith, Cooper Neese.
Really big play here. Northeastern gets the ball coming out of the timeout.
In the lane. That's going to come well short. Air ball, 7 seconds. Jalen Moore picks it up. He's going to try to get the long shot. That's going to come right to Winders. Nice block there by Tyler Smith. And we'll go to the quarter. 16-11. And I think that's a clean block. The Cloverdale fans are screaming for a goaltend. I thought that was clean. They're discussing. We'll keep it right here until we figure out what's going on there. I don't think they're talking about this anymore. I think the window to make that ruling is left.
You'd think, but they are. You don't often see a conversation like this, but I think they've relaxed now, so I think it is going to stand 16-11 here in the first quarter.
16-11. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with the second quarter. It's TEC Basketball, Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Last time I was in for service at Best One, I let Roger know my brakes were squeaking. So they checked them out, and Roger told me it was just a little moisture. Not to worry. Everything was fine. Well, that was just the reassurance I needed. I trust the team at Best One, just like I trust my own dad.
Hi, I'm Roger Clark. At Best One Tire and Service, we only fix what needs to be fixed. When your car or truck leaves our shop, the service you request will be done right. I guarantee it.
Best One Tire and Service, North 7th and A, Uptown Richmond.
Whether it's a delicious breakfast, afternoon treat, or a midnight snack, everyone loves the taste of Square Donuts of Richmond. Enjoy our huge cinnamon rolls or any other Crown favorites, including maple bacon, strawberry cheesecake, Oreo cream, pumpkin spice, and many more. Of course, grab our award-winning glazed donuts, voted #1 in the entire state. Proud to be your home to the best donuts in town and the only squares around. Square Donuts of Richmond. Second quarter here at Greenfield Central. TC Basketball regional style. Three-pointer on the way for Nate Reynolds. Good. He starts the second quarter kind of the way he ended the first quarter. And all of a sudden, it's a 2-point game.
8-0 run now spanning the 2 quarters.
Three-pointer on the way to answer. Rattles out. Here comes Tyler Smith. Chance to take the lead for Northeastern. And I said at the beginning, Nate Reynolds might be the key. He's got 6. Tyler Smith kicks out. Caleb Mikesell, wide open 3, just rattles out. Cooper Neese with the rebound. Here comes the Clovers. Nice. That's just not a very good call at all.
Pat Rady certainly agrees with you.
Seth Pfaff sets the solid screen. I thought it was a solid screen myself. I was looking at it the whole time. I didn't see him move his feet, but, I'm not wearing stripes, so the 3 guys stripes don't care what I think. Either way, it's a foul on Seth Pfaff. Smith. Freeman Brew.
He traveled.
And he traveled. Third travel call on Northeastern.
Jordan Story back in the game now for Northeastern. Again, Northeastern using a lot of these bodies. We've kind of talked about this. Cloverdale wants to play maybe 5 guys. Northeastern willing to make this sort of a platoon type game.
They do employ a hockey style substitution pattern. Every 2 minutes, 3 minutes, it's maximum effort for 2 or 3 minutes. Foul there on Mikesell. And it's fair to say, with all due respect to Caleb Mikesell, and just about anybody outside of Tyler Smith, when you're checking Cooper Neese one-on-one, you're kind of in over your head. And that's not a knock on the Northeastern guy. It's just how good Cooper Neese is.
He's a Butler University recruit. I mean, he's a guy I think he's going to go there, and kind of that lineage of great shooters that Butler has had, he continues that. He's also one of the top 10 scorers in history of Indiana high school basketball. I mean, that's kind of, we haven't really mentioned that today, but you think about all the great players in the state, only about 7 or 8 people have scored more points than he has.
Tyler Smith has well over 1,000 points in his career, and he's playing against somebody who's got more than he does, which seems odd, honestly. That one missed. Here comes Jalen Hillard. Tyler Smith playing off the ball. Nate Reynolds feeling it a little bit, still feeling it. He's got 9, Northeastern retakes the lead, 17-16.
You're talking about him being the key. He's got 9 points now, 3 3-pointers. He averages 11 on the year. Yeah, if he could get 15, 16 points here, it really bodes well for Northeastern's chances.
Northeastern foul number 34, Jordan Stoley, his first.
Jordan Stoley picks up the foul there. I was looking to see if Jesus, because I didn't write this down and I should have, the total points those 2 guys have scored. We might have to effort that during halftime. That's a travel there on Pfaff. We just kind of wandered a little bit. And I will tell you this, I've just noticed something here a little bit. That's the 3rd time I've seen somebody in green kind of, I wouldn't say yell at, that's a strong phrase, but really call out another teammate on the floor when they've made a mistake. We saw Jake Wilkes do that earlier. I saw another guy for the first turnover, and now Jalen Moore gets after Seth Pfaff. Generally speaking, not necessarily a good sign for the chemistry of your team, but that's just kind of how they're wired. Hillard in between the circles finds Stoley. Scouting report on him is probably pretty clear. Looking for help, finds Stoley. 17-16 Northeastern. They survive a 15-3 run by Cloverdale, and they're currently on a big run in a row.
Yeah, 11-0.
11-0. Didn't know the number. I was hoping you'd catch that.
I had it for you.
Hillard inside. Nice run there.
Really nice take by Jalen Hillard. He worked hard on that possession. Finally broke down the defense and got good penetration and finished high off the glass.
He will have the keys to the car next year, almost certainly for Northeastern. Only a sophomore. And he totally double dribbled. I can't remember the last time I've ever seen that.
He actually double dribbled and stopped and just started walking before the official even blew the whistle. He knew.
Yeah.
Everyone in the gym knew. But
well, if they missed the double dribble, they're going to give him for the travel. Because he took 3 steps before he threw the ball. I don't think I've ever seen that. Ever. Have you ever seen that?
No.
I can't remember last time I've seen a legit double dribble. Like where you've dribbled, picked up the ball, and put it down with the other hand.
Now, my 3-year-old son on Saturday morning basketball camp, I have seen him there.
Oh, so. I've watched my daughter do it at camp, and yeah. The laws of basketball don't apply to her, but Jake Wilkes, a little bit more, only a sophomore to be sure, but he's older than 7.
Yeah.
Brew, jump hook, nice play there. Can't get it, gets his own rebound. Nice back cut there by Tyler Smith, hangs and scores. Timeout Cloverdale. That's a 13-0 run by Northeastern. It's a 5 points. Knights lead. They were down 10 in the first quarter. They're up 5 now. 4:50 to go. Full timeout. We'll take one with them. It's TEC Basketball Regional Style on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
When it comes to coverage of high school, college, and professional sports in Richmond and Wayne County, Radio Troy Digital Sports is a game changer. Hi, this is Troy Derenkowski. We are now your one-stop website for the best sports coverage in the area. From the Red Devils to the Colts and the Hoosiers, we have you covered. Check out the daily sports page, player and coach interviews, play-by-play of high school and college athletics, and much, much more. Check it out every day on RadioTroy.com.
Each day of the week, you can get a different 6-inch sub with no artificial flavors or colors for just $3.50. Only at your Richmond area Subway. Monday, sweet onion chicken teriyaki. Tuesday, oven roasted chicken breast. Wednesday, turkey breast. Thursday, Italian BMT. Friday, tuna. Saturday, Black Forest ham. Sunday, meatball marinara. Treat yourself at Subway. 4 locations in Richmond and Hagerstown. Subway, eat fresh. Also, the sponsor of our sub of the game, the Subway sub of the game. 4:50 to go here in the first half. 21-16 Northeastern. They're in the middle of a 13-0 run. And now a little full court press here by Northeastern. 3 by Cooper and East to end the run. Can't get it to go. Rebound comes off to Nate Reynolds. Here comes Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith, the blur attacking, gets the foul on Jalen Moore.
I'm going to correct you. I shouldn't do this to a math teacher, but it is a 15-0 run.
15-0 run.
Currently at the moment, yeah.
I am currently not on the clock. It's worth mentioning. Worth mentioning, currently not on the clock. I'm usually good at that, too, but I'm a little preoccupied here a little bit.
I like what Brent Ross is doing here, picking up the pressure. You're seeing him pick up full court, wear this Cloverdale team down. Great take.
That's a nice play there. And the scouting there, I'm a little disappointed there in the scouting because Tyler Smith has a really long three-pointer from a set shot. It takes him forever to shoot that. You had time to get there. Steal here by Nate Reynolds. Coast to coast. He'll get that blocked by Fapp, but he'll get fouled. 17-0 run by Northeastern. And like I said, now, there's nobody who's got a quicker pull-up jumper than Tyler Smith, but his set shot from a catch and shoot takes a really long time. You've got time to get out there.
And also, honestly, I mean, he's 30 of 97 on the year, so the scout should be make him prove it from out there and certainly not give a guy that athletic, that rangy, with that kind of sweep and go move at the baseline.
Northeastern plays a little bit like IU in the fact they shoot a lot of threes. The difference between them and IU, they don't really have anybody that shoots a high percentage. Nate Reynolds, 25%, 27%, 30%. Tyler Smith, same situation. So, really, they're streaky shooters. They're a team full of streak shooters.
Yeah, they're about 30% on the year as a team. And you're absolutely right. They have a lot of guys who can get going, kind of shoot them into games, also maybe shoot them out of games. But getting to the rim like Northeastern's done here the last couple of possessions, pushing its lead up to 9 now. And again, a 19-0 run.
19-0 run by Northeastern. They were down 10, 16-6. 19-0 run. Cloverdale chanting offense. Now chanting Clovers. They're right in front of us. I still couldn't figure it out. It's a packed house. It's worth mentioning for the morning game. Moore almost traveled. Maybe got away with one. And all of a sudden, Cloverdale's Faff with a three. Maybe not the guy you're looking for there when you need a bucket. 19-0 run. Here comes Northeastern. Reynolds, straightaway three. Rebound comes off to Wilkes. Miss. Step back. Thought about the step back three instead from the wing. Once again, it's all the Robbins trying to shoot here. Nice bounce pass here. Mike Sell with the layup. Good. It's a 21-0 run.
Great possession. Both ends of the floor from Caleb Mikesell right there. Did a fantastic job on the closeout. Got the ball out of Neese's hand and then finished it on the other end. That's a wild three.
And it looks like, to my wildly uneducated eyes, Patrick Brady's down there in the suit. I'm sitting up here talking to you. So one of us is better than the other. But it looks like Cloverdale's offense is not scrambling, desperate. Like nothing's working, so they're just giving to 11 or just chucking up threes, much like what Northeastern doing in the first quarter.
Yeah. And now Cloverdale picking up full court. Didn't know if I expected to see this. And I think Northeastern's going to get layups out of this. Oh, it was a great look from Hillard.
Not a terribly great finish there by Alex Reynolds. Look at a block. Yeah, that's a block, yeah. Northeastern fans not happy that's the right call. 27-16, a 21-0 run here by Northeastern. And there's something that maybe they need right there. There's 2:49 to go in the quarter. They're scoreless in the quarter. 2 shots here for Jalen Moore. And he missed it.
Northeastern number 32, Harrison Rice.
So 2:49 to go in the second quarter. Alex Reynolds picks up his second foul. And Jalen Moore now with a chance to break a 21-0 Knights run with a free throw. And he does.
There's first point of the second quarter. Really about the first point since I think about 2.5 minutes to go. Remember, they got that lead 16-6. I mentioned maybe you can spell Neese here for a second. He has 2 fouls. He leaves the game.
5-0 run.
There was a quick 5-0 run before the timeout, and obviously that was extended to a 21-0 run.
A wild pass there from hanging in there. Nice play there by Harrison Rice. We'll call it an assist. It wasn't really. Harrison Rice gets the bucket, and Jalen Moore.
He traveled. They're going to call it.
They're going to call a foul before the travel.
Grant Ross Warren. I think Jalen Moore at the jump stop. He slid his feet.
Number 34, Jordan Stoley, his second, team 7.
Jordan Stoley with the foul. That's 29-17, a 12-point Knights lead. I'm going to be honest with you. In that first quarter, I didn't see a 12-point Northeastern lead anywhere in this game, let alone in the second quarter. Maybe fourth quarter. Didn't see it second quarter.
Yeah, again, I think that just the way they play, that they have a chance to wear down Cloverdale, but certainly not to have this effect this quickly.
Free throw there by Jalen Moore. And it's worth mentioning, Cooper Neese, nowhere to be found. He's got 6.
Right. Absolute credit to Brent Ross and the job that his defense is doing right now.
Both free throws still without a field goal for all that time. 3 free throws is what's gotten Cloverdale points here in this run by Northeastern. So it's a 21-3 run. 23-3 run. If I'm doing my math right. I'm probably not. But it's all free throws here for the Clovers. Hillard. Zone here for Cloverdale. The thing is that 2 fouls early on Cooper Neese hasn't really played a part as he hasn't been that aggressive offensively to get himself in trouble. That's a nice play there. Head fake by Freeman Brew. Couldn't get it to go. Gets his own rebound. Still can't get it to go. And that's a foul on Freeman Brew. And boy, he'd like to have that back. A great pass from Jalen Hillard. And maybe not the best of finishes by Freeman Brew.
Northeastern foul number 22, Freeman.
He's getting a nice little talking to there by Tyler Smith. And, the difference there, Tyler Smith, little pile and butt, Freeman Brew. Other side of the scores table, a little bit more negative, just from body language.
I agree with that. I mean, I think you've seen that so far. Now a chance for Neese to maybe get going at the foul line here. And he gets the first to go. Now 7 points for a guy who averages 27.8.
Not surprisingly, Cooper Neese probably a pretty good free throw shooter. 86.
Those were pure.
Yeah. On my best day, I don't shoot free throws look like that. His team trails by 8. Rice needs some help. And turned over there. The press works for Cloverdale, and that'll be tipped away by Tyler Smith.
And for Northeastern, number 4, Caleb Meisel.
A little bit of negativity there from Northeastern as there's nothing that makes young guys like high school players get more nervous like a big league evaporating. Right now it's only 8. Long 3 by Moore that barely grazes rim. Smith, the blur. Fadeaway jumper. Can't get to go. Rebound comes off to Jake Wilkes. Minute 15 to go. Here comes Jalen Moore behind the back. Around Reynolds. Can't get to go on the scoop shot. Neese almost had the rebound. Gets it stripped away. It's Tyler Smith. He can just hang in the air. Gets it right back. Neese
there you go.
Kind of fell asleep. They'll get a foul on the other end. Neese kind of fell asleep there and kind of let himself get back cut a little bit. 57 seconds to go. We'll go to the line. Harrison Rice.
Cloverdale on number 24, Jake Welch. His first, team 6.
We're going to keep harping on it, but the job that Northeastern's doing defensively, you saw Caleb Mikes on again on the last possession. I've talked a lot about his defense so far today, but the recognition he has in transition to find a guy like Neese, no clean looks at all for either of Cloverdale stars this entire quarter.
I agree with that, and they don't really have a second scorer. Nate Reynolds can be that guy. We talked about that in the pregame. What they do have is a whole lot of really good role players.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Harrison Rice, the Caleb Mikesels, Freeman Bruger to a certain extent, Jalen Dillard. They all know their roles and know exactly what they're doing. Both free throws good for Rice. Big step up there for the senior. Back to a 10-point lead. Got lots to talk about at halftime here. Jeez. Nice.
Almost triple teamed.
Almost triple teamed. He'll slide in, gets the foul, and the bucket.
It's amazing you had 3 guys there and not one cut off the baseline.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. First rule of basketball, cut off the baseline. If in a double team situation, none of them did it.
And for the nice number 2, Tyler Smith.
Although that's also a real hard thing to teach teenagers to do, because a guy like Nate Reynolds at his size can just wait and block the shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't do that, Cooper Neese. Missed it.
A rare free throw miss, 2 of 3 now.
86% for Cooper Neese, misses that one. And Northeastern has no desire to go in the locker room up any less than 8, which is what they are at right now.
Now, they did not do a good job at the end of the first quarter. I thought went too quick. They tried to hold for one, ended up going with about 7-8 seconds left. Let's see if they can really get one shot here. Oh.
Foul there on Harrison Rice.
And that's just the absolute thing you don't want. A turnover and a foul. And you're going to put a really good foul shooter in Moore on the line. Moore not a great finisher, but, mid-70s. And again, kind of a chance to get a score going here at the line.
Jalen Moore officially 76% from the line. Which at the high school level might as well be 90. I mean, really. There's not very many high school players that shoot high percentages.
How many free throws this quarter for Cloverdale? I mean, they really have not gotten a lot done in terms of field goals.
One field goal. That's Cooper Neese for three-point play.
Yeah, the three-point play attempt, yeah.
They've been held the second quarter with just one field goal. We'll get you some free throw numbers here in a second.
Now, if you're Northeastern, 20 seconds, you have to get the last shot.
Absolutely. Up 6. They were down as much as 10. They were up as much as 12. And there's another turnover.
The pressure bothering Northeastern. Didn't anticipate this.
11 seconds. 3 on the way for Moore. Front iron. Can't get to go. Stoley with the rebound. Needs to find some help. Finds it. It's Tyler Smith with 1 second. And he'll get the foul with a .7 to go on Jalen Moore, who picks up his second. Wow.
This is why Pat Brady has no hair. I mean, this is why.
That's absolutely true.
Tyler Smith at the line for 1-1.
I knew an assistant coach one time I was talking to, and he said that at the end of the day, if you're a basketball coach, you realize you're putting your livelihood in the hands of 16 and 17-year-olds, which is not always the wisest thing to do.
I've got an awful lot of gray hair. And he missed the first. Can't convert it. And that'll do it. Halftime here at Greenfield. In a wildly entertaining first half. The Northeastern Knights lead it 31-25. We'll come back with stats and quality analysis. When we come back, it's TEC Basketball Regional Style on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Maybe you haven't heard, but there's a place in Richmond's Depot District that's better than being home. Little Sheba's is a lot like the bar in that 80s TV show Cheers. Where everybody knows your name. Come on down after the game on Fridays and join us for pizza. We're here till 11. Or grab some of your friends and try out a game of live trivia Thursday nights at 6:30. If you love live music, Little Sheba's features some of the very best every weekend. Where else are you going to find this kind of variety, along with some of the best food and friends in town? Little Sheba's in Richmond's Depot District. It really is better than being home.
For over 30 years, Reynolds Plumbing has been keeping the Richmond-Wayne County area running. Whether on commercial properties, restaurants, or residential, they've done quality plumbing, heating, and air work for thousands of customers. It's not just about the quality work, it's also about customer service. It's about attention to details and making absolutely sure you are 100% satisfied. If that's the kind of experience you want in your next plumbing or HVAC job, then Reynolds Plumbing has you covered. Give a call at 966-0994. There is one thing for sure in my life. I know nothing about fixing cars. That's why I take my vehicles to Beach Automotive at 110 East Main in Richmond. Their experts have the knowledge to service and repair even the most challenging auto problems. So if you have an automotive question, they have the answers at Beach Automotive, 110 East Main in Richmond. Or give them a call at 765-966-8181 or visit their website, beach-auto.com.
Hey, Chuck, where you headed? Spinning's about to start.
I'm heading to CrossFit.
Isn't that for, the elite lifters or athletes only?
No, at FFW CrossFit, all workouts can and will be scaled to any ability level to welcome everyone.
Sounds great. I need to get out of the same old workout routine. I'm just not sure I can keep up. It seems pretty intense.
No real lifting experience is needed. FFW CrossFit teaches you everything you need to know and move at your own pace in a positive, motivating environment.
You know, I've always wanted to give it a try. I'll see you there.
Learn more at ffwcrossfit.com.
Hello, my name is Kyle Schwarzkopf. I'm the manager of Kyle's National Road Auto in business in Richmond since 1979. We employ ASE certified technicians and we have over 80 years of experience. We work on all domestics and most European and Japanese cars. Give us a call at 966-1555. Kyle's National Road Auto Service. My name is Kyle Schwarzkopf and I approve this message.
Hi, this is Troy Darengowski of Radio Troy Digital Sports. There are plenty of places for me to get lunch or dinner, but there's only one Mancino's. In fact, I was just there for lunch the other day and had a delicious pizza grinder. That's just one of many choices I can get at Mancino's. How about a fresh salad? Several varieties of pasta, Mancino's Lights, or perhaps even an oven-baked spaghetti or maybe a pepperoni pizza. So when you're looking for a great lunch or dinner, make sure you choose Mancino's, 217 National Road West in Richmond. Are you looking for a quality used car you can trust to take you where you want to go? Stop at Tony's Car Sales at 250 National Road West. Tony's has a top-of-the-line selection of low-mileage, one-owner cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs, all handpicked by Mike and Adrian Parker. Tony's is family-owned with 3 generations and 60 years of experience. Check out their selection at tonyscarsales.com or at 250 National Road West. Tony's Car Sales, where honesty, quality, and price sell cars.
The dealership where I bought my car told me I needed new tires. So, of course, I stopped by Best One and asked Roger to take a look. So they checked it out, and he told me not yet. He said I was good for at least another 10,000 miles. I've always gotten an honest opinion at Best One, and so will you.
Hi, I'm Roger Clark at Best One Tire and Service. We'll only sell you tires when you need new tires, and they'll be the right tires for your car or truck. I guarantee it.
Best One Tire and Service, North 7th and A, Uptown Richmond.
There's a place in Richmond's Depot District that's better than being home. Little Sheba's is a lot like the bar in that 80s TV show where everybody knows your name. Come on down after the game on Fridays and join us for pizza. We're here till 11. Or grab some friends and come play live trivia Thursday nights at 6:30. If you love live music, Little Sheba's features some of the very best every weekend. Where else can you find this kind of variety, along with some of the best food and friends in town? Little Sheba's in Richmond's Depot District. It really is better than being home.
There's only one place to go on the World Wide Web to find the best automotive deals. Wetzelauto.com. One of the area's largest inventories all in one spot. Wetzelauto.com. Here for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Wetzelauto.com. New and used vehicles, service, parts, body shop, and rental. Plus, value your trade. It's easy to navigate. It's convenient. Wetzelauto.com. It's clickin' awesome.
It's game time. The Sportsplex is now open. Get your teams together and come out for basketball, volleyball, soccer, tennis, golf, batting cages, wrestling, and much, much more. The Sportsplex also offers court rentals for your entire team to play a pickup game or to hold practices. Use our turf fields for multiple sports, including flag football, baseball fielding, and rugby. Sportsplex is open 7 days a week. Check out FamilyFitnessWorks.com for more information and current hours, or call 765-935-0111.
Back at Greenfield High School, it is halftime here at the Regional. Northeastern leads this 31-25 over Cloverdale in a game of runs for sure here in Greenfield. Give you some scores here. The unofficial scoring, what I like to call the sure-to-be-wrong statistics. Cooper Neese for Cloverdale leads the way with 10 points. Jalen Moore with 8. Jake Wilkes has 4. And Nick Winters has the early 3, and that's it. And that's not surprising from what we scouted on our end. For Northeastern, also not surprising, except that who's leading the scoring, not how many people are scoring. Nate Reynolds leads the way, leads all scores with 11. Tyler Smith and Caleb Mikesell both with 5. Harrison Rice with 4. Freeman Brew and Jalen Hill each with a bucket. You asked Brian in the second quarter, free throws for Cloverdale. They were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of 9 from the free throw line. Only 1 field goal in that second quarter, and 1 score to report of local interest. Connorsville trails Brownsburg 18-16 at halftime. Welcome to Carry Ball, 18-16 at halftime. Let's bring in Brian Bennett here at the halftime report here, and your thoughts, your reaction to the first half.
Yeah, like I said to you, we were off the air, that I don't know how happy maybe either coach is right now. First of all, I don't know that any coach is ever happy. That's just kind of the way things go.
I'm still not.
Typically at halftime. But, I felt like Northeastern, maybe if they finish a little bit better there in the second quarter, they commit some maybe fouls that they wish they had back, let Cloverdale get back in the game. Let Cloverdale get back in the game that way with at the foul line. And also, if you're Cloverdale, I don't know if you're happy with the way you've handled this pressure and handled the ball.
Yeah, the pressure actually bothered both teams, in fact. And that's not exactly what you would have thought about going one direction. Like, you would have thought the pressure might bother Cloverdale because it's not the way they play.
Right.
But you would have thought with Tyler Smith is a one-man press-breaking machine.
Correct.
And he was bothered in that late in that second quarter. And we talked about it off air that, you're disappointed if you're Pat Rady because, well, you gave up a 21-0 run.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's no coach on the planet who's going to be pleased with that. But if you're Brent Ross, you're also a little irritated because you should have been going to halftime maybe up 14.
Yeah.
And instead, a couple of key turnovers, you put them on the line. They're only up 6, you got yourself a ball game.
One thing I wrote down, kind of a key for Northeastern today, was to finish. I talk about finish. It's something I talk about. I've always talked about as I coach. Finish possessions, finish quarters. Therefore, you finish games. And finishing has sort of been the thing that maybe has been a little bit of a bugaboo for Northeastern. I went to the game earlier in the year when they played Oak Hill. Oak Hill at the time was ranked number 1 in the state. Northeastern was number 2, number 3. And Northeastern had a huge lead in that game. Couldn't close that game out. And it was a lot of possessions where, at the end of quarters, maybe they'd have a turnover. They just couldn't quite build on that lead. And we saw that a little bit, I think, during the first half. At both the end of the first and second quarters, Northeastern in position to hold for the final shot, carry in some momentum. They weren't able to do it in either quarter.
Yeah, and finishing not just at the quarters, but there's a number of in close. Freeman Brewer had a number of close-in shots where he just couldn't finish them. Alex Reynolds had one point blank right at the front of the rim and couldn't finish it. And in a game like this, the farther you go in the tournament, this as well as I do. The farther you go in the tournament, you can't win the game in the second quarter, but you might lose it.
Absolutely.
So we are 14 seconds away from the start of the third quarter. 13 turnovers for Connorsville, thanks to Kyle Nedenreep. Nedenreep, how do you pronounce his name? Nedenreep?
Nedenreep, I believe.
I think it's Nedenreep. Wow. I doubt anybody who knows him is listening to my broadcast, but just in case.
The number 1 reporter at the Indianapolis Star for Prep Sports. The authority.
He is the guy. Enjoy reading his stuff. He was here actually last year.
Yeah.
For the Howe game.
He was at the Oak Hill Northeastern game I mentioned. He was there back at Marion. That was played back at the Bill Green Athletic Arena back in December, and Kyle Nedenreep was there courtside.
Inbound pass here to Cooper Neese, and here we go, third quarter, and a game of runs, and we'll get a foul right there on Tyler Smith. And by the way, just as an aside, I really hate that call where he hedges out and he's there, and there's just bump, and they call the foul. I mean, he's got a right to be in that spot.
May have gone knee to knee there. We'll keep an eye on kind of Cooper Neese, the way he was kind of favoring that knee a little bit.
I see why it's a foul. I also don't like the call. That's a play on, in my opinion, but whatever. I've never been one to agree terribly with guys wearing stripes, necessarily. Inside Pfaff, kicks out to Moore. Moore, jab step, nice screen there by Pfaff, three-pointer in the corner, can't get to go. That was Nick Winters. He'll get it back here after the offensive rebound. Moore with a deep three. He hasn't hit much of anything in terms of distance. Another offensive rebound, foul. He tries to get to Moore, can't get to go. Here comes Smith all the way for their layup.
Really nice finish left hand there. Tyler Smith switches from the right to the left. Jordan-esque maybe.
And then a double dribble by Jalen Moore. And a nightmare start for Cloverdale. A really long possession, 3 offensive rebounds. You turn it over, give a bucket, and then another turnover on that's brutal from a coach's perspective. 33-25 Northeastern. They lead it by 8. Inside, Brew. Jump hook. They'll get fouled. And
I don't know if I like that one. I thought the defense was straight up there. I thought it's a case where the shooter initiated the contact, and really kind of a wild look there from Freeman Brew. Not sure where that shot was going to go, but Northeastern's happy.
Yeah, Northeastern's happy, and you and I, neither one of which have ever really seen eye to eye with a guy in stripes, so not surprising. Neither one of us are disagreeing. Missed free throw by Brew.
I'm always a fan of, I talk gyms and things like that a lot. These rims here are interesting to me. I don't know why. They seemed a little springy. I thought they kind of looked like good shooter rims. We've seen some weird rolls, including that free throw right there.
They do appear to be good shooter rims. I usually pay attention to that. You're a better shooter than I am, so you usually don't hit the rim, so it doesn't really matter. Me personally, I need to get that roll. Second free throw good for Northeastern. It's a 9-point lead.
And you're right about Moore. He's not shot the ball well from the perimeter, and I think it's going to be Cooper Neese to get him going here.
He's only got 1 field goal. He's got 8 points, but only on 1 field goal. Too many already in the ear of
Marley's upset with their clear travel, and I think just too many unforced errors for Cloverdale.
Another turnover. 3 turnovers start the third quarter for Cloverdale. And when they got it down to 6 at halftime, it's now back down to 9. And a buck here puts it back out to double digits for the Knights.
Northeastern going a little bit of a spread here. I like this.
Rice. He'll take the 2. Buries it. Harrison Rice.
They dared him to shoot it, and he stepped into it and finally shot it.
That's one of those shots where you're happy he makes it, but you might still talk to him at film. Second foul on Tyler Smith. No, they're going to call on Rice. Nope, they call on Tyler Smith, his second. Now, that's a story to keep track of because last year at the Howe game, the championship game, it was Bailey Stewart who had the ball with a chance to win the game, and not Tyler Smith because Tyler Smith had fouled out. Right now, he got through the first half without any fouls, picked up 2 quick ones here. And there's another foul I don't like.
That's a foul you see a lot in the NBA. That's a Kevin Durant foul. Kevin Durant's the guy who seems to get that sort of call all the time, and it looked like he honestly double clutched, kind of put the ball in the face of the defender almost.
Well, he jumped to his right a little bit. It was right in front of us, and you can see it on the camera. He jumps right into the chest of Caleb Mikesell, and the 86% free throw shooter misses the first. Little karmic retribution there, perhaps.
Ball don't lie.
And the Reggie Miller kind of foul he just drew right there. Makes the second. He's got 11. Uncharacteristic misses for Cooper Neese. Mikesell. 10-point lead for Northeastern. Jab step. Smith. All the way to the rim. Can't go. Gets his own rebound. Thought he had his own rebound. Might be lucky not to get a third foul.
Very lucky, I think.
Or dribbles it off his leg. 4th turnover in the quarter for Cloverdale. And we're going to get a blocking foul call in there, and that's the right call.
Really good attack by Tyler Smith.
And it's such a right call, except for there's one guy in front of us you can see who apparently doesn't know how the rule book works. Makes the charge. Everybody else pretty cool with the call.
There's always one.
There's always one. Or he was frozen in the sprinkler dance. So here for Tyler Smith. First one's good. I'm really proud of myself for the sprinkler dance joke. I usually don't bring those down until it's out of hand, but couldn't help myself. First one good for Smith. Second one on the way. Makes them both. 12-point lead for the Knights.
Timeout.
Cloverdale, 30-second timeouts. 5:34 to go in the third quarter. Northeastern leads this one by 12. You can hear their fans in the background. We'll take a break with TEC Basketball Regional Style on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
There's only one place to go on the web to find the best automotive deals. Wetzelotto.com. New and used vehicles, service, parts, body shop, and rental. It's easy, it's convenient. Wetzelotto.com. It's clickin' awesome.
Back at Greenfield High School. TEC Basketball Regional Style. 5:34 to go in the third quarter. And the Knights, having trailed it by 10 at one point in the first quarter, lead it by 12, 38-26. And a turnover-filled third quarter on both sides, mostly by Cloverdale, but still turnovers aplenty. And here comes that press for Northeastern. Jalen Hiller tried to take the ball out of bounds, and I remember which direction we were going. Jalen Moore across the timeline on the walk. Boxing one here against Cooper Neese. Caleb Mikesell, three-pointer on the way. No good. Nice box out by Caleb Mikesell off Cooper Neese. Nick Winders took the three. That was a design play out of timeout. Press here by Cloverdale. Hillard. Everybody gets on their feet here for Cloverdale. They need a run here on their own. Nate Reynolds looking for help. Finds Harrison Rice. Hillard. I might have to stand up myself as I can't see. Got to turn up his mic. There he is.
There we go.
Hillard. Looking through a sea of green shirts. Hillard. Inside. Through. Turns it over. Moore across the timeline. Crossover dribble. Elbow jumper. Good. Needed field goal for Cloverdale. Back to a 10-point lead. Drew. Reynolds in the corner. He turns it over again. Pretty much three straight turnovers for the Knights. Here comes Moore. Thought about the pull-up three. Step back. He'll get the foul as he got Freeman Brew up in the air.
Hey, I want to give credit to the Cloverdale fans. I mean, they're almost willing this team to a little bit of a run right now. You know, they're down 12. The crowd just kind of say, let's get up and get going. They're right in front of us, kind of blocking our view a little bit. But their energy has clearly made a little bit of a difference.
During the timeout, we had a little crowd war there where, as the timeout was called, the Northeastern fans kind of appreciating their team's effort, gets up, makes some noise, and the Cloverdale fans, not to be outdone, tried to answer. And I'd say, based on the 2 minutes after that, Cloverdale fans won that one. Substitution here. You can thank our camera person, Allison. She's got a higher vantage point than we do, so we can't see, but you can. Makes them both. 8-point lead for the Knights. More pressure here. Bothered the Knights in the second quarter. And maybe an awkward there. Because we're going to get I thought it was a foul on Tyler Smith. Instead, she's out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
Ball.
I think it could have been. I mean, you know, that was a case where we had a missed layup. And you know, Tyler Smith just going for the rebound, you know, a hustle play, I think could have been called for his third foul. Break there for Northeastern.
4:17 to go in the third quarter, and Northeastern trying to attack that press and not getting good passes right now. We're going to make a jump ball again. Tyler Smith now catches it in the backcourt. Walks it across the timeline. On the dribble. Tries to get in there. You got to travel. He called that challenge before he even hit the ground. So another turnover for Northeastern. And a game of runs here again. It feels like Cloverdale starting a run of their own. 4 minutes even to go in the third quarter. Jalen Moore across the timeline. He'll take a deep three and buries it. Jalen Moore is woken up. He's got 7 in the quarter. It's a 5-point game.
Whistle in the backcourt.
We're going to foul here on Winters. Not Winters. Winders. I think I made that mistake last year.
For the Knights, number 30, Nate Reynolds.
Nate Reynolds back in the game for Northeastern. Haven't called his name in a while. Remember, we had those quick 11 points when Northeastern went on that big run.
Northeastern Tyler Smith across the timeline. Walks it up, being checked by Jalen Moore. Motion here, trying to get Caleb Mikesall loose. We'll get Alex Reynolds loose at the top of the key. And he'll turn it over again. 5 turnovers. All the way to the rim. Score by Jalen Moore. And Cloverdale in the midst of a run. They're down 3. And travel, another turnover by Northeastern. It's a 9-0 run by Cloverdale. It was 38-26, a 9-0 run by Cloverdale. Timeout Northeastern. You're going to hear some noise now from the Cloverdale fans right in front of us. A 12-point lead cut to 3. Timeout on the floor. 3:27 to go in the third. We got a good one here, folks. And the Knights lead it by 3. It's CEC Basketball on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Hi, this is Steve Funkhauser, and I was talking to someone the other day about how friendly and professional the crew at Jiffy Lube is, and they said, you are always so upbeat. I'm going to call you Mr. Positive, and so now I am Mr. Positive. And I want you to know how proud I am of you and that you are doing a great job today. And hey, do something nice for somebody. Make somebody smile. Smiles are contagious, you know. I want you to have a great day and the horse you rode in on. Jiffy Lube. Fast, friendly, professional. I'm Mr. Positive, and I approve this message.
Back at Greenfield Central High School, it's the regionals. TC Basketball Radio Troy. Digital Sports. And the Knights lead Cloverdale 38-35 with 3:27 going to the third quarter in a wildly entertaining opening game of this regional. So entertaining, in fact, I have to stand up because I'm not tall to see over the Cloverdale fans in front of me, which I do not begrudge them at all.
I'm just going to rely on your play-by-play for this quarter of the court.
Neither one of us are head toppers. We're both guards, so... Scramble for loose ball here. We'll get a jump ball. That'll go to Northeastern.
It's a quick jump ball call, but probably the right thing.
Well, in high tempo, that's where you get those little dust-ups.
Yep.
We had one in Connersville. There, nothing major, but a little bit of a problem. Nick Winders being a real thorn in the side there. Tyler Smith. Maybe got away with a travel. He can't finish. And another, not really a turnover, but almost for Northeastern.
That word finish.
Three-pointer. Nice play there by Nate Reynolds. Gets the steal. Goes all the way to the rim. And scores. Boy, they need that.
I said we hadn't said his name in a while. He got back in the game, gets a big steal there. That three-pointer looked online. I thought the game might be tied. Instead, we get a breakout the other way for Northeastern.
And a foul on Nate Reynolds.
A good call, a reach on Nate Reynolds there. And the game is getting a little physical. You're seeing a little bit of chippiness, which, again, is to be expected in a packed gym. Two teams that have some history.
Well, you get to the third, fourth quarter, and the fans of the teams that are playing in the second game are going to start getting here, and you get a packed house. And it's packed. You can see it in the camera on the far side. It's like that all the way up to the roof. Or the ceiling, whichever you want to call it.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you. I believe they're the same thing if you listen to Michael Jordan. Spin move there by Jalen Moore. Nice play there. Winders with the rebound. Can't get it to go. Gets a block by Foul called on Brew, and I just don't like that call at all.
I think straight up, did not leave his feet. He does things just like he teaches. Put a high hand up. He's a tall kid. And I thought that Winders shot the ball right into his arm.
That's what I thought as well. Instead, they're going to send Nick Winders to the line. A 41% free throw shooter. Doesn't look like a 41% mechanics, but 41%.
Now, I am disappointed as a left-hander myself. I always swear the left-handers have the best shooting strokes there are, and Nick Winders is sort of upsetting me right now.
Makes the second one pure.
That looks pure. That's more like it, lefty.
4-point lead for Northeastern. You would think with the ball handling skills of Smith and Hillard that this press wouldn't bother them, and they are just making wrong decisions.
They're playing off Hillard. I mean, they're really kind of sagging off him a little bit and making him try to make passes, and he's not obviously the tallest kid, and he's made some great passes, but not that one.
Moore has come to play. 40-38.
That's a foul.
Tyler Smith then. And he'll get fouled.
Tyler Smith, as you mentioned before, is sort of a one-man press break. He's done a nice job getting through this Cloverdale pressure. Hasn't gotten help at the rim. I mean, we use that word finish. Northeastern's missed a couple bunnies.
Jalen Moore's got 20 in the game. He's got 11 in the quarter. Minute 50 to go in the third quarter. Inbounds, 5-second call.
Yeah.
And they're called 5-second inbounds. I don't have a count on the turnovers here, but that's got to be 7 or 8 for Northeastern this quarter. Press now for Northeastern.
Ooh.
And a foul on Nate Reynolds. That's 3 on him.
And more importantly, Cloverdale on the bonus. We talked about getting back in the game in the second quarter at the foul line. We got 9 minutes, 47 seconds left in regulation now.
That's his 4th foul.
Oh, wow.
Nate Reynolds with his 4th foul.
Again, so for the next 9:47, Cloverdale in the bonus. Cooper needs a chance right now. The 86% free throw shooter, although he struggled a little bit today, but a chance to tie the game. Ooh. That was short all the way. Got to roll.
Second one for Cooper Nice. 86%. That was pure. And we're all tied. Both teams have come back from double-digit deficits, and Tyler Smith, coast to coast, can't get the roll. Rebound comes off the Cloverdale. They got a chance to take their first leads at the first quarter. Three-pointer. Jalen Moore, 23. And Cloverdale, 53-point lead.
This crowd has erupted. We're really seeing the poise of Northeastern tested. And there's a bailout. They're going to call that on a shot, too. I'm not sure Tyler Smith was really trying to shoot that ball.
2-shot foul puts Tyler Smith on the line. Jalen Moore's got 23. He's got 14 in the quarter. And we did say he wasn't shooting it well from the outside. Well, we stand corrected.
Tyler Smith gets the roll on that. Big play right there. That's foul number 3 on Jalen Moore. We talked about him coming to life, kind of turning this game around. Well, he now is looking at some foul trouble.
Foul trouble playing a bit of a role here. He makes them both. 1 point Cloverdale lead. Both teams have come back from double-digit deficits in this game. You don't see it that often. Does make for pretty good theater, though. 1 minute to go here in the third quarter. Moore crosses over Hillard. Fast didn't even look at the rim. Moore will, though. Comes off the front iron, and Harrison Rice. And here's where Northeastern can really attack that pressure in transition. Hillard all the way to the rim and lays it in.
Really nice job by Hillard.
Fantastic from Jalen Hillard. Northeastern retakes the lead. Get the foul on Jalen Hillard.
He did. He had his hands on. He's pulling his hands back now. But Jalen, who just made a great play going the other way, did put his hands on Jalen Moore in that play.
With the offhand, too, it's worth mentioning.
Jalen Moore on the line for 1-1.
So Jalen Moore will step to the line. With a chance to tie and take the lead. He does the tying part. He's got 24. Chance to make it 25 and get Cloverdale the lead again. And he does just that. He has got a whole bunch. 25 in the game. Jalen Moore. That's out of bounds, another turnover for Northeastern.
Talk about that body language, Northeastern right now. You're kind of seeing them, I don't want to say come apart by any means, but you're starting to see the strain of this moment right now. Still a lot of basketball to be played.
There's a lot of seniors on Northeastern's team, but they didn't play big parts last year. Harrison Rice, Cream Brew wasn't even here. Caleb Mikesell, they didn't play big parts. They had a lot of other supporting cast guys. Deep three from Cooper Neese.
My goodness.
Wow.
That's a 32-footer.
That was from Knightstown. And what it does is give Northeastern another possession at the end of the quarter. Tyler Smith, spin move in the lane, hangs, shoots. Can't get the rebound. Can't get the roll. Rebound comes off to Caleb Mikesell. Out of bounds into Cloverdale with 0.5 to go. And that's off the backboard. Wouldn't count it anyway. That's the end of the third quarter. Cloverdale leads it 45-44. Come back to the fourth quarter. Promises to be a good one. It's TEC Basketball, Radio Troy Digital Sports.
The Sports Game Changer is now in Richmond. This is Troy Naragowski. If you want sports coverage you can count on, look to RadioTroy.com. We'll have everything from the Red Devils to the Pacers and Colts, and don't forget IU and Purdue. Also check out our play-by-play coverage of high school and college athletics and the daily sports page. We are the Game Changer. Radio Troy Digital Sports and RadioTroy.com.
There's only one place to go on the web to find the best automotive deals. WetSolano.com. New and used vehicles, service, parts, body shop, and rental. It's easy, it's convenient. WetSolano.com. It's clickin' awesome.
Back at Greenfield Central, it is TEC Basketball Regional Style here on Radio Troy Digital Sports. And the Cloverdale Clovers come back from a double-digit deficit and now have a 1-point lead going into the fourth quarter. Squarely on the back of Jalen Moore, the junior. He's got 24-16 in the third quarter. And we're going to get a turnover and start out the quarter by Cloverdale.
So cliche, but, you know, this is the fun of the regional, the fun of high school basketball. 1 quarter to go. Game's totally up in the air. A lot of pressure on both squads right now. See how they can handle it.
Tyler Smith. Bounce pass. Hillard. Backs up to the circle. Gets the ball screen from Brew. Off to Tyler Smith. He'll take it from there if you let him. Spin move. Leaner. No good. Gets his own rebound. And the foul and the bucket. Tyler Smith. And who's the foul going to be on? It is Winders. And Tyler Smith retakes the lead for Northeastern.
That's a player Tyler Smith says, look, I'm the best athlete on the floor. I'm getting to the rim, misses his own shot, says, I'm not going to be stopped. I'm getting this. I'm going to finish. The kind of play a senior all-star makes in moments like this.
Free throw on the way is good. Pure for Tyler Smith. And a 2-point lead for Northeastern. Turnover. Smith all the way to the rim. Layup and good. 5 points in the quarter.
5 quick points from Tyler Smith and a 4-point lead for the Knights. And Tyler Smith almost gets another steal. Well, that time he's going to whistle for the foul. That's number 3, I believe, on him, correct?
3 fouls on Tyler Smith. He's got, I didn't get a chance at the quarter here to do my math. He's now got 15 in the game. He had 10 coming into the quarter. He's got 10. Cooper Neese has 13. Nate Reynolds has 13. Jalen Moore with 24.
And speaking of Jalen Moore, on that play, he's banged up. I think, again, we talked about knee to knee earlier. I think Jalen Moore went knee to knee with Tyler Smith. And Jalen is clearly hobbled as he steps in line for a 1-and-1. We have a whistle.
1-and-1 here for Jalen Moore. We're getting a problem with the score clock. It's 1-and-1. Okay, we knew it was 1-and-1. All right, it's 1-and-1.
It's the last 1-and-1. Cloverdale will be in a double bonus. Next foul on Northeastern.
First one good for Moore. 25 for Moore.
Outstanding effort from a kid who just point blank did not have a good first half.
He had 8 points in the first half, only 1 field goal. He's come alive here in the second. He's got 18 in the second half. Smith to Hillard. Back to Smith. Maybe a push-off. Got away with it. And that's a travel.
Away to travel. Oh, he's going to call a foul on the floor.
Foul first.
Yeah. Tyler Smith trying to Euro step. I did not think he pushed off. I thought it was the case with Cloverdale, trying to sell that call, block him a little bit. I thought Tyler Smith made a nice move to the basket there. In the NBA, this is an and 1.
Yeah, it's true. Seth Pfaff with the foul call there. He's got 4. And Seth Pfaff looks like a guy named Seth Pfaff. He really does. First free throw for Smith is good.
Six points in the quarter now for Smith.
Second one on the way for the senior. Can't get the roll. Cooper Neese now bring the ball up against Caleb Meixel. Double team coming. He goes all the way to the rim. Can't get to go. And Brew gets the rebound. They've got numbers. Smith all the way to the rim. Can't get to go, but he gets the foul. And they push on Jake Wilkes.
Cloverdale has no answer for Tyler Smith attacking in transition.
Not in transition, that's for sure. On the half court, they've done a nice job on him. But in transition, I called him the blur pregame. It's because he gets baseline to baseline quicker than anybody else does.
And fouls now piling up for a Clover's team that does not have a lot of depth.
First one on the way for Smith, and he makes it. He's got 17. Kind of all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Tyler Smith has become the scorer here.
And he has all 8 points for Northeastern here in the fourth quarter. Great steal by Jalen Hillard, and Northeastern does come up with the ball.
That's the push-up. And there's the push-up we thought about.
Cloverdale wanted it earlier in the last possession, didn't get it. That was a clear case of Tyler Smith lowering that shoulder using the off arm.
And now Tyler Smith is his fourth foul.
Number 30, Nate Reynolds.
So if I'm Brent Ross, I'm gonna work 4 minutes off this clock and see if I can't keep a lead or keep it close. Keep him on the bench.
Easier said than done when he's been the guy who's been the best with the ball in his hands and the best handling Cloverdale's pressure. Nate Reynolds now back again. He, of course, has 4 fouls.
4 fouls for the 2 best offensive players Northeastern has. No foul trouble here for Cloverdale. Cooper Neese still has only 2. You picked 2 up in the first quarter. Hasn't fouled since. Moore's only got 3. 3-pointer on the way. Pfaff with the offensive rebound. That's knocked away. Brew comes up with the rebound.
Really great defense in that possession. Jalen Hillard and Caleb Meixel. I thought Meixel was going to shoot a 3, and he hesitated and he traveled.
And this reminds one of last year against Howell, where the wrong guys have the ball in their hand in crunch time. Tyler Smith, foul trouble again, puts him on the bench. He's got 4. And Northeastern's going to try to ride out the next 4 or so minutes with him on the bench. Moore tried to take that 3. Going to get Cooper Neese. He thought about it as well. Good defense by Caleb Meixel. Jalen Hillard doing a fine job on Moore as well. Long 3, air balls.
Great close up. Great
looking for the foul.
Yeah.
Couldn't get it.
Oh, no, there was no foul. Jalen Hillard, great job defensively. Had a hand. High left-hand shooter. Used that right hand in that case to bother Moore.
Brew thought about that. Probably not going to turn out well for him if he shoots that. 5:20 to go. Work some clock here for the Knights. They're up by 5, but their best players on the bench with 4 fouls.
A lot of pressure on Jalen Hillard right now.
Caleb Meixel now. Brew back to Hillard. And Hillard wants the ball, which is kind of impressive for the sophomore. Reynolds back to Hillard. They're going to work some clock. Maybe a foul there.
I thought so.
Three-point on the way from Mike Sell. Good! Great possession for the Knights.
Hey, Mike Sell's done it all day with his defense. Huge offensive effort from him there. Now, huge block shot.
An 8-point lead for the Knights, and a volleyball spike from Freeman Brew on Jalen Moore, and all the momentum now for the Knights right now. Not sure I've ever seen a game like this. It's gone this many swings and momentum. Significant swings. Moore backs up. Off the rim. See, that was offline from the beginning. Rebound comes off to Nice. He'll take the three. He can't get it. Rice will maintain his own balance barely. Up to Mike Sell. Mike Sell will attack. Can't get it to go.
Thought it could have been a goal in there. I thought they slapped the backboard while the ball was on the rim.
Either way, they ran off a good minute of the last possession. Brady looking for them to calm down a little bit. And he'll get a timeout on Cloverdale. Full timeouts. Wow, hope you guys have as much fun to watch as we are calling it, because it's an awful lot of fun. 4:06 to go. And the Knights lead it by 8. It's TC Basketball on Radio Troy, Digital Sports.
Maybe you knew that Indiana University East has world-renowned professors and 50 highly respected IU degree programs. Still, there's someone you should meet. He's a red wolf. He's Rufus, our mascot. He's here for our intercollegiate sports, dozens of student clubs, and to make sure things aren't too, well, tame. Check us out at iue.edu or drop by. But be careful. No leash. IU. Focused on you.
Back at Greenfield Central High School, it's an 8-point lead for the Knights. Northeastern leads Cloverdale with 4:06 to go in this one. The 12th ranked Cloverdale Clovers, the 4th ranked Northeastern Knights, and the game has seen more runs maybe than any other game I've seen in a very, very long time.
Yeah,
one timeout remaining for Cloverdale.
In terms of big runs, I mean, not your. It's been kind of a nip and tuck game, but really big, 10, 12-point swings.
Yeah, we had a 12-0 run in the first quarter to second quarter for Cloverdale, then a 21-0 run for Northeastern. Followed by a little run here by Cloverdale to get back in as close. Now a run to counter by Northeastern. Jump shot by Moore. That came off the front iron. Stripped. Nice play there defensively by Northeastern. Harrison Rice looking for help. Finds Brew. Brew needs help. We're going to get a timeout Northeastern. Smart timeout by Brent Ross. 30-second timeout. Both teams have a timeout remaining. We'll keep it right here with 3:49 to go, so I'm going to have a seat.
The question, of course, becomes 3:49 to go. If you're Brent Ross right now, when do you bring back Tyler Smith? You've extended this lead with him out of the game. He had 8 points in the quarter. Huge three-pointer from Mike Sell to push this lead to 8. Can you hang on here for another minute? Can you kind of milk the clock a little bit, milk your bench a little bit before going back to the guy who's proven himself to be an all-star here this afternoon?
My opinion on that is, as long as you have at least a 2-possession lead, keep him on the bench. There's really no reason to risk that, because once he comes out, the deflating nature of him fouling out. Right now, they know he's going to win the game. They just hold on. As long as that's a 2-possession game, I leave him on the bench until I absolutely have to bring him off.
He's in the game right now.
He's in the game right now. 3:49 to go. So I'm sitting up here, and he's down there coaching the regionals. And he'll get the ball here, leave it off for Hillard.
They're just going to clear and try to let Tyler Smith. I think he got away with the travel.
And he's going to launch it up and hope he gets help. And that's going to be a turnover here for Northeastern. They have not handled the press well, the Knights have. Three-pointer by Cooper Neese. That's off the front iron. He has been ice cold since the first quarter. Bounce pass here. It's Moore. Baseline. Into the trees. Can't get to go. Rebound comes off to Harrison Rice. Nice bounce pass from Rice. Leading Tyler Smith. And Tyler Smith's got to be careful with his aggressive nature. Not to pick up the 5th foul, and 3:11 to go. They're still leading by 8.
3 minutes to go. Northeastern learned the lessons from last year against Howe. Can they learn the lessons from earlier this year against teams like Oak Hill? Can they finish this one?
Foul there. Looks like it's Nick Winders. Nick Winders picks up the foul.
Nick Winders is 4.
He's got 4. 8-point lead here for the Knights, and you just don't feel like any lead's safe in this game. It's really just, it's one of those kind of games.
We have two guys who combined for 55 points a game. I don't know if anything's safe. Oh.
And he misses the front end.
That was the last front end. Yeah, the last front end.
Both teams in a double bonus for the remainder of the game.
Jalen Moore.
And he's come up big for them in a big way. 4 fouls each for Reynolds and Smith. No foul trouble note for Cloverdale. As their two big stars are comfortable in their fouls. Switch to double team. Foul and the bucket.
We talked about it. No answer for that.
And Nick Winters just fouled out.
That is how you answer a run. Really just a big-time move by Tyler Smith there.
And there's so much risk in that play right there when you have 4 fouls. That, at this level, all it takes is just one bad call.
Absolutely.
One official does not see it the right way.
I mean, it was a good call in that case, and Tyler Smith, great body control, but you're absolutely right. One missed call, and it's totally deflating. Gets the roll on the free throw.
Makes the free throw for the 3-point play, and smart move here from Ross, who will take him out for defensive purposes. We'll have an offense-defense substitution pattern there for Tyler Smith the rest of the way.
11 points for Smith this quarter.
Neese, pull up 3. And he just looked at the official, looking for the foul call. And look, you took a triple team contested 3. Tough to ask for a bailout call there. Mikesell. Back to Hillard. 2 minutes to go. Despite having the two best offensive players.
Oh!
They call it a jump ball.
Cloverdale had decided to try to foul at that point, and they call a jump ball. Now the other official was going to come in. Let's see if he overrules. They tried to foul Jalen Hillard, and they simply didn't call it. They're going to stay with the jump ball. The ball was in Reynolds' hand.
Possession still goes to Northeastern.
And here comes Tyler Smith.
Tyler Smith to come in on the offensive possession. And Pat Rady is not happy with that at all.
Well, again, the irony is they tried to foul Jalen Hillard. The referee swallowed the whistle and then gave a quick jump ball call when it was in the hands of Nate Reynolds.
Rady was very animated looking towards the official. I'm not entirely sure it was animated towards Brent Ross. And I think it was more of an amicable, can you believe this kind of deal. Reynolds, the count on him, puts the ball on the floor.
Oh.
Tyler Smith splits the double team. We're going to get the foul ahead of time. He'll go to the line for a couple with 1:39 to go. And every free throw now, another hit on the head of the nail in the coffin of Cloverdale.
Cloverdale came into it averaging 71 points a game. We talked about the two high-scoring guards. 50 points right now for the Clovers, and the job that they have done on Cooper Neese, that Northeastern has done on Cooper Neese, just cannot be understated.
Scoreless in the fourth quarter here. Hasn't had a field goal since the second quarter.
Assuming this lead holds, obviously Tyler Smith for his effort in the fourth quarter, he's your player of the game, but Caleb Mikesell deserves a sticker on his folder or something, because he's just been fantastic defensively.
Caleb Mikesell usually comes off the bench. That's too bad because we have a sub of the game we got to get done. He would be that guy right here for sure. 10-point lead for the Knights. Another trip to the regional championship within the grasp of the Knights. More. Minute and a half to go. Pull up 3, and they've taken a ton of those.
They're almost looking at the officials, trying to bait the officials in the call on every single shot. Again, Jalen Hillard, good defense, high hand on that closeout, really backed away. Jalen Hillard, who's about 5'6", right? He's not going to block any shots, so he's a smart man, hand in the face, but backing away.
Hillard smartly just backs it up. Minute 25. Inside to Brew. Layup, good, and a foul.
Mic drop.
That might. It's minute 20 and a 3-point shot and 2 Indiana All-Stars on the other side. Nothing for sure yet, but that's a 12-point lead with a chance to make it 13.
Cloverdale led 45-44 coming into the fourth quarter, so I'm working on my math. 18-5.
Yeah. 18-5 in a game of runs. I've never seen a game with more than 2, let alone 4 big runs on either side. Brew makes it. All the way to the rim. And a foul. A 13-point lead for Northeastern. They foul. And it looked like they were just standing there.
Yeah. 75 seconds. I'm sure the Brent Ross and his team is going to feel like about 75 minutes.
Agreed on that. Winner of this game will take on the winner of Shenandoah, and Heritage Christian will come up following this game. We won't broadcast it, but we will be back to the night game should Northeastern hold on to this now 12-point lead.
Interesting game, that one. We can talk a tiny bit about it. Shenandoah, probably one of the hottest teams. We talk about the kind of 2A, a lot of teams being knocked off. Shenandoah, maybe the hottest team in Class 2A.
You can almost argue they're the favorites in this regional, given their form, if I may pull a soccer term. Minute 6. No fouls from Cloverdale. Not sure why.
Nor am I.
It's an 11-point game. It's
now a foul.
And they foul Tyler Smith.
But they let 14 seconds or so go off the clock.
Yeah, I thought foul the first guy you see. And Tyler Smith's going to go to the line. Although probably percentage-wise, he's only about a 67% free throw shooter.
I have a friend of mine who always talks about free throw percentages. What's the clutch percentage? Because shooting free throws in the fourth quarter of a regional semifinal, a heck of a lot different than shooting free throws on Friday night against Tri-High.
There's no question about that. He makes them both. 66-52. Sorry, 65-52. Spin move lane for Nice, and he finally gets one to go.
That is maybe his first or second field goal of the second half.
Yeah, only his first.
Yeah.
11-point lead for Northeastern. Hillard, and they're not fouling Hillard. I'm stunned that they're not fouling the sophomore. I'm stunned at this. Nate Reynolds, who's an 80+% free throw shooter. I just don't understand why you don't foul Hillard.
Yeah, really the only underclassman on the floor. As well as he's done playing defense, he's been great playing defense. He's been great kind of handling the show a little bit, but only a 3-point-a-game scorer.
Hillard, a 44% free throw shooter. Nate Reynolds, 82. Far be it for me to question, but come on. Free throw up for Reynolds off the front iron, so I guess it shows you how much I know. He missed the front end, and we'll get a foul here. We're going to get here.
I think it's a moving screen on... I don't know. Actually, I don't know.
And Pat Ray just got warned.
Yeah, they don't...
Now, there's a rule in basketball. There's a painted box which you have to stay inside. And that box only goes about 8 feet wide, 12 feet wide, something like that. Pat Rady's been near half court most of the game.
They call a moving screen on Jacob Pfaff, and that is his 5th foul. So the senior, probably...
Seth Pfaff.
Sorry, pardon me, Seth Pfaff, yeah. Pardon me, yeah, he's probably played his final basketball game.
Tyler Smith gets tied up there. We're going to get a jump ball. And honestly, it doesn't matter at all. Running 12 seconds off the clock is more important than keep possession at that point. There's not enough seconds left if you're going to run off 8 seconds every time. So 22.4 here to go. Cooper Nice. He's going to pull from the volleyball court. And he's been doing that for a pretty long time. Chase down his own rebound. Gets that bucket, 14 seconds to go. And we'll get the final timeout for Cloverdale. They trail it by 10.
10-point lead, 12 seconds to go, no timeouts. It's only a matter of figuring out the final score now, because even if Cloverdale scores, you can just Let the clock run.
That's his second field goal of the second half. He's got 17. And that is a quiet 17.
A very quiet 17. He came in, WTHR Channel 13 was here doing kind of a feature on him before the game. He and his father, one of the 10 highest scorers in Indiana high school basketball history. The all-time leading scorer at Cloverdale, who had a great score, and a guy named Chad Tucker. Chad Tucker is the all-time leading scorer at Butler University. Broke Chad Tucker's record. Just a really disappointing day, I'm sure, for him. A tough way to go out. It's always tough when you're a senior, losing that final game. But certainly, I don't think Cooper Neese played the sort of game he wanted to play today. But all the credit in the world to Northeastern. I cannot reiterate that enough.
And I want to make mention here. They got to get the foul immediately, and they do. I want to make mention on this because Tyler Smith on social media and places like that has a reputation for being a bit of a dirty player.
Yeah.
Whether it's deserved or not is not my point, but I want to mention that coming out of that timeout, he went and found Cooper Neese and a little pat on the butt and kind of a shake hands. He did the same thing with Jalen Moore, and that was initiated by Tyler Smith. He gets a bad rap a little bit for his competitive nature, and I've called him out on my broadcast before when I've thought he's been over the line. But if I'm going to do that, then I'm going to do it when I think he's well before the line, and that's right here, where some great sportsmanship from Tyler Smith.
I'm going to make this point about Tyler Smith. You talk about Neese, you talk about more of those kids from Cloverdale. The best player on the floor in the fourth quarter today, it's absolutely been Tyler Smith. Cloverdale has had no answer for him whatsoever.
Absolutely agreed on that. Nate Reynolds makes both of those. I'm sorry, the first one. And finally a three for Cooper Neese. They have no more timeouts. Clock running, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1, and we will see you later on tonight. Final score, Northeastern wins it, 67-59. And they have booked themselves a ticket to the regional championship game. Shenandoah Heritage Christian will be here for myself and Brian Bennett. I don't have anything better to do tonight. What do you guys do tonight?
There's nothing better regional basketball on Saturday, Scott.
We will take a break, get our wits about us, get our stats together. We'll do the post-game show, and we're going to get out of here so we can get ready for the next game. So, break here. We'll come back with stats and scores, find out what's going on in Connersville. We'll be back. It's TC Basketball, Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Summit Computers in Richmond is a full-service computer manufacturing and support company founded in 1997. They partner with businesses and individuals to provide computer systems, hardware, service, support, and design services. They also provide web hosting, high-speed wireless internet, network design, and much, much more. Summit Computers, the official provider of RadioTroy.com.
There are banks that are big, and then there's West End Bank, a bank with big ideas to help people, business, and industry. If you're just starting out on your own and want a new car, West End can help. Maybe it's your first home and you need advice on financing. West End Bank has ideas to help you. West End Bank, helping build better lives and a better community. West End Bank is a community bank with big ideas and home to a distinctive style of banking. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Hey, this is Steve, and out of Jiffy Lube the other day, a customer came in and said, Steve, this was my 100th oil change on this car, and you've done them all.
Hi, my name is George Farrell, and I've been coming to Jiffy Lube for over 14 years. I recently just had my 100th oil change. I'd like to thank Steve Funkhauser and his staff for the great service that they've provided me over the years. Thank you to all, and I would recommend anyone to come to Jiffy Lube to get their car serviced.
Jiffy Lube, #1 in customer satisfaction for a reason.
There's a place in Richmond's Depot District that's better than being home. Little Sheba's is a lot like the bar in that 80s TV show where everybody knows your name. Come on down after the game on Fridays and join us for pizza. We're here till 11. Or grab some friends and come play live trivia Thursday nights at 6:30. If you love live music, Little Sheba's features some of the very best every weekend. Where else can you find this kind of variety, along with some of the best food and friends in town? Little Sheba's in Richmond's Depot District. It really is better than being home.
For over a century, Richmond Power & Light has been providing safe, reliable energy to the citizens and businesses of Richmond and the surrounding area. Through their dedicated and talented employees, Richmond Power & Light is advancing their tradition of exceptional service through new technology, training, and efficiency in everything they do. For more information on Richmond Power & Light, go to their website at rp-l.com. Richmond Power & Light. Together, we make powerful partners.
There's only one place to go on the web to find the best automotive deals. Wetzelotto.com. New and used vehicles, service, parts, body shop, and rental. It's easy, it's convenient. Wetzelotto.com. It's clicking awesome.
The last time I was in for service at Best One, I let Roger know my brakes were squeaking. So they checked them out, and Roger told me it was just a little moisture. Not to worry, everything was fine. Well, that was just the reassurance I needed. I trust the team at Best One, just like I trust my own dad.
Hi, I'm Roger Clark. At Best One Tire and Service, we only fix what needs to be fixed. When your car or truck leaves our shop, the service you request will be done right. I guarantee it.
Best One Tire and Service, North 7th and A, Uptown Richmond.
When it comes to coverage of high school, college, and professional sports in Richmond and Wayne County, Radio Troy Digital Sports is a game changer. Hi, this is Troy Darengowski. We are now your one-stop website for the best sports coverage in the area. From the Red Devils to the Colts and the Hoosiers, we have you covered. Check out the daily sports page, player and coach interviews, play-by-play of high school and college athletics, and much, much more. Check it out every day on radiotroy.com.
Back at Greenfield High School, it is the postgame show, sponsored by our good friends at Subway, Subways of Richmond and Hagerstown. I want to tell you about the sub of the day. You can get a 6-inch sub with no artificial flavors or colors for just $3.50 only at your Richmond area Subway. Monday's the sweet onion chicken teriyaki. Tuesday is the oven roasted chicken breast. Wednesday's turkey breast. Thursday, Italian BMT. Friday, tuna. Saturday, black forest ham. Sunday, meatball marinara. Treat yourself at Subway. 4 locations in Richmond and Hagerstown. Subway, eat fresh. And the Subway sub of the game, well, if you're talking about scoring, there wasn't a whole lot of candidates. But if you're talking about everything else, it was a pretty easy call. We went with Jalen Hillard.
Absolutely. I thought Jalen did a great job coming in, handling that pressure. Northeastern struggled against that press in the third quarter, but Jalen kind of gave them a calming influence. Helped kind of helped stem the tide. Had a couple of big baskets you talked about that sort of stopped runs. And most impressively, did a great job defensively on Jalen Moore. I know Jalen Moore put up a lot of numbers, but he made Jalen Moore work throughout the game. And there in the fourth quarter, didn't have the legs. Just did not have the legs. You can make the same case, I think, about Caleb Mikesell's defense on Cooper Neese. Those two high-scoring guards just didn't have it in the fourth quarter down the stretch for Cloverdale.
Yeah, normally Caleb Mikesell comes off the bench, and he would have been an easy call for a sub of the game. He had 8 points and 2 just enormous threes in just big situations. But him and Hillard both hit buckets, had scores in just critical situations. When, let's be realistic, there was a time in this game where Northeastern was floundering. So, MVP here, we'll go to scoring it. We'll get you the player of the game. And really, honestly, you could choose one of 2 guys. Now, we're a TEC broadcast. We're going to lean one way. But you can maybe argue Jalen Moore. He had 30 tonight. And without him, Cloverdale gets blown out here in the second quarter, or in the second half. There's no question in my mind. He was the sole offensive threat through that run. But the reason why they didn't come back and win this game was because of our player of the game, Tyler Smith.
17 points, is that correct? 17 points in the fourth quarter. Again, Northeastern trailed by a point coming into the fourth. Tyler Smith almost single-handedly scored the first 7-8 points of the quarter for Northeastern.
And sat most of that sat a good portion of that fourth quarter.
But when he was in the game, no answer from Cloverdale. We said it time and time again, but Tyler Smith just did a great job of just attacking, putting pressure on that Cloverdale defense, racking up fouls, getting to the line. Not a great foul shooter, but shot it really well. We talked about a clutch percentage. Shot it well in the fourth quarter.
11 of 12 in the fourth quarter from the line, Tyler Smith was. He was the only guy who shot a free throw. Check that. Nate Reynolds missed the front end of made the front end of a 1-and-1. Freeman Brew completed a 3-point play, but otherwise, it was with the Tyler Smith show, and he's tonight's player of the game. We'll get you a final score from Connorsville. Last we saw, they were leading Brownsburg by 4 with 14 seconds to go in overtime. Why wouldn't they play overtime? They played more overtime games than any other team in the history of the sport, I think.
Unbeaten, the most wins in overtime. The most wins in overtime in the history of Indiana high school basketball.
Cooper Neese finished with the quietest 20 points you'll ever see in basketball. He had 7 late in the fourth quarter when the game was kind of already out of hand. 3 in garbage time. So he really only had about 13 real points. He had a bucket in the fourth quarter that kind of mattered. But, we talked about pregame. Would anybody else step up for Cloverdale? The answer was no. 20 points for Neese, 34 more, 8 points combined for the rest of the team.
Yeah. That's been the story for them all year. And against a balanced attack like Northeastern, a team that was going to make you work for everything, certainly not enough. And again, Cooper Neese gets all the headlines, and deservedly so. A Butler-bound recruit, top 2 in the state in scoring, in state history in scoring. But the headlines today, the headlines in this game, is going to be the job that Northeastern did handling him.
Oh, yeah. I think you're absolutely right. He was virtually non-existent in the second half until it got to be desperation time. And actually, I honestly thought his decision-making was poor, especially in the second half. 20 points for Neese, 34 more, 4 for Jake Wilkes, 4 for Nick Winters, and that is your scoring for Cloverdale. I think Seth Pfaff was in, and I can't remember even saying another name.
No,
I don't remember even another number even being in the game. I mean, and I'm being really serious here. Did they play 5 the entire game?
I think they played 6 guys. I think Parker Watts played a little bit off the bench, number 14.
I might buy that. I don't remember ever saying his name. I don't think I said his name, so it clearly doesn't have an impact.
Yeah.
For Northeastern, they're scoring. Tyler Smith had 27. Nate Reynolds had 14. He had 11 at half. Kind of disappeared a little bit and got that.
But a huge 11 points in the first half.
Yeah,
really. Northeastern got down 10 points there to open the game. It was Nate Reynolds who kind of got them going.
Absolutely. 14 for Nate Reynolds. Big 8 points for Caleb Mikesell. Harrison Rice had 6. Freeman Brew had 7. Jalen Hillard had 4. You got nothing out of Jordan Stoley, who has been kind of their third offensive choice there, kind of a stand in the corner, shoot the 3.
Now, we heard pregame that there may have been kind of an ankle injury. He might have suffered a little bit of an ankle injury this week leading up to the game. Hopefully, didn't need a lot out of him tonight. Maybe he can ice that thing up, maybe give him something tonight.
Well, I mean, what I'm saying is if you had told me they would have survived the kind of runs Cloverdale put at them, with that guy getting you virtually nothing offensively and getting, 14 points out of Reynolds and not much else in terms of big scoring. Now you get the 8 from Mikesell. I would have said, maybe Northeast is going to have a hard time winning that game. But nevertheless, they have won that game, and they will play the winner of the game that's warming up in front of us, as you can see, which is Heritage Christian in the blue and Shenandoah in the black. And Shenandoah, the Raiders, we talked about them, and we can give you a little preview about this game. Heritage Christian comes in this game unranked, but they are ranked ahead in the computer rankings of Cloverdale. Cloverdale was the worst team in the computer rankings, and there's a lot of people that aren't a huge fan of the computer rankings, but at this time of year, it give you a decent idea on who should win, all things being equal. Right now, Northeastern ranked 5th in the class in 2A in those computer rankings. Cloverdale was 20th, and that looked like a 5th versus 20th kind of outcome. Here, it's 10 Shenandoah, 14 Heritage Christian.
Yeah, I still like the way Shenandoah's been playing. I think that down the stretch they've been really one of the hottest teams in the state. And looking ahead to tonight, if they were to come away with this win, Shenandoah, Northeastern, they played one another earlier in the year, 35-33. The Knights came away with that win. So points probably at a premium if that happens tonight.
A bit of a mini Connorsville, if you like to say that.
Speaking of Connorsville, they get the win in overtime. Of course they did, right?
Of course they did.
Of course they did. Grant Smith. I think you talk about the 2 Smiths in our area of the state, and people watched your broadcast a couple weeks ago. Connorsville going in to Northeastern and winning, and it was Grant Smith,
which was a great game.
Yeah, fantastic.
Great game.
Grant Smith playing great in that one. It was Grant Smith again. Grant Smith almost single-handedly, put Connorsville on his back in the sectional and played 3 fantastic games. That one Friday night really hurt, Scott, I'm not going to lie. But played 3 fantastic games in the sectional and played another one today against Brownsburg. They'll be in the regional championship at Southport tonight against possibly Mr. Basketball, Chris Wilkes, North Central. But we don't want to talk too much about that. And, in fact, we hope that you're not paying attention to that one. We hope you're paying attention to us tonight, and you got your webcast going, you're checking out us again.
We will be back on the air here tonight, 8 o'clock tip. for the winner of this one. Also, we'd be remiss to say, speaking of area basketball, that right now getting ready to tip off and I don't know where they're
Case Arena in Frankfurt.
Frankfurt.
The home of the Western University Dolphins, if you've seen Blue Chips.
Yes. Yeah. Frankfurt, Seton Catholic will be trying to avenge their regional loss of last year to Liberty Christian, as they've won 4 straight sectionals. So congratulations to the Cardinals as they're going for their into the regional for the 4th straight time. Still looking for their first regional title. Yeah. And speaking of Seton, we'd also be remiss if we didn't mention Desmond Bain, a local product, who makes a couple of 3 free throws to beat, Kansas.
They're decent, right? They're decent.
We're not even talking about like Kansas of Pennsylvania, NAI. We're talking about Kansas.
Let's just, sometimes these things are sort of surreal. So a year ago, I went to the Seton Catholic Anderson Liberty Christian regional game at Case Arena in Frankfurt. So a year ago, you had Desmond Bain on the floor playing in front of about, 800, 900 people in that. And he silenced this 19,000 the other night with 3 free throws to beat, Kansas. They're pretty decent. They're a little bit Final Four contender.
Lock number 1 seed.
Yeah.
And, I will mention that because me being a former head coach of Seton, I was the head coach there for 5 years. I got a text message from one of my former players who basically said, "Can you believe we're being mentioned, Seton Catholic being mentioned on ESPN based on where we were?" And a lot of people don't know the story about Seton Catholic, where they came from. We were playing in gyms that are basically rec centers, and changing in stairwells and 3rd grade Spanish classrooms. All of that is completely true. And to be where we were at then, to see where kind of the profile of that program is certainly good on them for having that profile now. But I would like to have had it myself, but that's okay. I'll sit here with you and call really good games. So that's all for us here. We will keep you updated. We're going to probably stick around, at least I am, and stick around and watch a little bit of this game and keep you updated on the tweets. It is Scott on the air. I will try to keep you updated. We will be back on the air at about 7:45, 7:40, somewhere in that area. We're going to try to get some pregame interviews, like we did last year, and get a little bit more of a pregame show. So thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. We will see you later on tonight. It's been TC Basketball Regional Style on Radio Troy Digital Sports.